A crimson dusk falls over the fractured skyline of New York City as three of the most powerful sorcerers in the cosmos converge upon a dimension torn by instability. At the heart of the chaos, the very air crackles with mystic tension. Dr. Stephen Strange, clad in his swirling cloak of levitation, arrives first within the spiraling, shifting ruins of a shattered sanctum sanctorum. His eyes narrow as fissures in the magical fabric pulse with destructive energy, evidence of a force unlike any he has faced since the days of Thanos. Across the ragged marble atrium, a scarlet storm erupts. Scarlet Witch, her presence as haunting as her reputation, steps through the dimensional breach. Her hands dance with dark red energy, reality twisting to her will. Her gaze radiates a determination born of both trauma and fierce independence. Wanda Maximoff has not come to parley. The tension between her and Strange is palpable, history and mistrust simmering beneath the surface. Suddenly, laughter echoes through the broken sanctum, a shimmer of green and gold, a rush of wild magic. Loki materializes, mischief gleaming in his eyes. The god of mischief's smile is both invitation and threat. He mocks the gravity of the moment, spinning his scepter between his fingers. But neither Strange nor Wanda mistake his levity for weakness. The ancient walls hum with power as the three form an uneasy triangle. A relic, the shard of Yggdrasil, glows at the foyer center artifact capable of rewriting the rules of magic itself. Each sorcerer senses its significance. Whoever possesses the shard will command unimaginable influence over fate and reality. Strange speaks first, his voice carrying authority. He insists that unchecked power risks annihilating the universe's balance itself. Wanda, shaped by the pain of loss and the lure of control, declares that she alone can correct the injustices of existence. Loki, ever the opportunist, suggests a less altruistic solution. Let chaos reign, and see who is clever enough to endure. Words escalate to action. Strange wheels his hands in intricate sigils, summoning shields of light and cascades of mirror dimensions. Wanda counters in kind, bending the room around her, transmuting stone to mist, time to memory, warping the battlefield to her advantage. Loki, slippery and unpredictable, refracts himself into illusions, flinging daggers of enchanted energy at his foes. The battle is an orchestra of power. Strange seeks to contain, strategizing with portals and traps drawn from forbidden tomes. He encases the shard in a sphere of molten glyphs, seeking to isolate it from reality itself. Wanda, her magic more raw and unbridled, tears through barriers with waves of hex energy, unraveling Strange's careful constructs with intuition and force. She draws on sorrow and love as much as calculation, warping probability itself. Loki weaves in and out of sight, subverting expectations at every turn. He sews, discoordinating enchanted armor, whispering spells that spark memory, fueled hallucinations in his rivals, sparking doubt and confusion. When his blade grazes Dr. Strange, Strange splinters into a dozen time echoes, each refraction battling Loki's illusions in a kaleidoscope of reality. The sanctum distorts under their contest. Floors invert, gravity inverts, city blocks appear and vanish in gestures of metaphysical willpower. Wanda, driven almost to breaking point, channels the Darkhold's forbidden verses, casting runes that threaten to erase the identities of her foes. Strange rises into astral form, multiplying himself into spectral defenders, forcing the engagement onto planes Loki struggles to manipulate. Sensing an opening, Loki conjures a growing sphere of void, threatening to engulf all three into an endless dimension of nothingness. Strange hurls a counterspell that bursts the sphere, scattering energies through infinite possible realities, their echoes vibrating across time and space. Wanda redoubles her efforts, bending the battlefield around the shard. With a cry, she warps reality so only she and the relic exist on a plane of shifting memory. Yet Strange, anticipating such an eventuality, had anchored his consciousness with a thread of pure temporal magic. Reappearing at Wanda's side, transcending even her narrative warp, it comes down to momentary choices. Loki, reading the flow of battle, switches allegiances in an instant, aligning momentarily with Strange to entangle Scarlet Witch in a ring of serpentine light. She shatters the bonds, casting both would-be adversaries to the ground with a blast of chaos. But Wanda pauses, the cost of such power flickering in her eyes. Strange, battered but unbowed, reaches his hand toward Wanda, not to fight, but to reason. He points out that wielding the shard alone would tie her to endless cycles of cosmic defense, a fate not even she could bear. Loki, ever pragmatic, weighs the potential gain versus eternal imprisonment in a prison of his own making. For a heartbeat, all three sorcerers stand on the knife's edge of decision. In the end, with battered humility and mutual fear of what unchecked supremacy would mean, they agree to bind the shard in a spell of trifold vigilance. Each sorcerer pledges, for now, to guard reality's boundaries not as conquerors, but as reluctant custodians, watching one another. In that uneasy truce, the war of magic concludes, not with victory, but with a fragile new order, the fate of the cosmos hanging, perhaps wisely, in unstable balance.